Farming with robots. That's our Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. Thanks for tuning in. Joining us from Solinftec is Chief Operating Officer Daniel Padrao. Thank you for taking the time, Daniel.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you for having us.
Well, give us a bit of background first about your company. You're based in Brazil, right?
Actually, the company was founded in Brazil, and we have offices and headquarters in different parts of the world. So our main headquarters it is in Brazil, and then we have a second headquarters for North America that it is in West Lafayette, Indiana.
Interesting. Well, tell us a little more background about what you do.
Yeah, so I think a good way to explain what Solinftec does, it is explaining like agriculture today. So in agriculture, we spent a lot of time on new crop protection, new seeds, and new ways to apply the inputs that we've been developing. And like how to be every time how to be more precise in how you apply that input. And at the same time, we spent a lot of time on how to make machines more efficient, how to create, amazing machines, and very efficient. And to do that, we create a larger and larger and larger machines. So today we have a very large machines with a lot of technology. The problem today it is when you look for the size of the machines and how we operate machines today, and when we look for the prescriptions that we did, it's almost impossible to make that prescription happen. So, and because of the cost of that, because of the cost of the machines, and because of like trying to be more efficient and cover more ground, we, I, I would say that most of the time, the operations win this battle. So you ended up being efficient in the way you run a machine, but not being efficient in the way you apply inputs. So there is a gap between the plan that you set and what you really execute. And that's what Solinftec does. What we try to do is to close this gap, to marry those two things with the field, but with the field uh, and looking for the field as an ecosystem. How can we marry all of that and make agriculture more efficient? How to marry all of that and to take the most of the inputs that we are using. That's what Solinftec does using data science, especially data science in real time. That's the goal. And to do that, we develop softwares, hardware, sensors, and now robotics.
Well, tell us what you have built now.
Okay, so today we have a platform that allowed you to set your plans for agriculture. And after you set your plan, so we have the seed that you is going to plant, the trait that you're going to use, the crop protection that you're going to use. We put together all of the layers of information. So weather, efficiencies, the team that it is involved, and so another data that we have behind the scenes. We run some machine learning algorithms and we create schedules. We communicate these schedules across your fleet of machine and across your team. And we, in real time, we keep changing and adapting this plan to make sure that you're going to do this. So it's a platform. And now what we are doing it is we were missing like field information, very detailed field information. It's really hard to capture that. And it's really important to learn what's happening in the field, to learn about that ecosystem, and to trigger operations like what is the right time to do an operation and even measure the result of that operation. That's why we decided to build a robot. And we are really, really, really impressed with the level of information and how it changed and how it will change the way we prescribe, the way we deal with that specific field.
So describe this robot for us. I understand you have a partnership with Growmark on this.
Yeah, so what is the idea? Why we decided to build this robot? So today we see, so robotics are becoming part of agriculture, but what we are seeing it is a lot of companies developing robots to specific tasks, to pick an apple, to pick a strawberry, to take care of a lettuce, and sometimes even like taking care of a small plot of row crops. So as a company, what we really want to do is to take those robots to the field, to a production area, and run it. So Growmark, it's an amazing partnership to do it, because we've been working together in the last 3 years, and that's an expansion of our partnership. What we want to do is like working with Growmark that really understands agriculture for 100 years, to help us to better understand how can we use all the potential of robotics. So that's the idea of the partnership. We already have our solutions running with Growmark. They already have the platform. So the idea is we're going to connect this robot, test that in real fields in production, and understand the value that we are adding to the agri-retail, to the co-ops, and to farmers, and then make this commercial available next year. You asked me about the robot. So the robot, it's a device, solar powered. So it will run, the idea it will be a device that will be in the field, running 24 hours per day, 7 days per week, through the whole season. So it will be there. I like to say scanning the field, scanning plant by plant, scanning the ecosystem, and giving different informations through the season. The idea it is that this thing will be autonomous, will be there, like taking care of your field for the whole season. And at the same time that we are collecting and triggering information, it is connect the platform. So I think it differentiates us a lot, because if you have just a robot, it doesn't allow you to change the way you're doing things, not like to make decisions, especially make decisions in real time. So that's why we are so excited.
So is it reporting back, say I'm a farmer, is it reporting back to me? Does it have like a cellular kind of connection, or how is it communicating?
Yeah, it needs a cellular phone connection. But what we can do sometimes, we know that even though we have a pretty good coverage, cell phone coverage in US, so in some rural areas we don't. So what the robot does, it is, if it doesn't have a signal at that specific moment, it goes to a place where it has and send the information to the cloud, and there we will process and send information to the stakeholders.
And what is it going to be telling me?
So at this moment, we are testing models, but what we are doing and collecting, it starts with emergence. So how that plant emerge, and then we go to stand count, then weed pressure, and after weed pressure, how was the control, the quality of the control, and then pests, diseases, and nutrition, until we get the end of the season. Obviously, for sure, there are other things that we don't know yet, and this is the idea with the partnership with Growmark, but this is our first roadmap.
So it's programmable to be able to do different things. It's using cameras?
Yeah, so cameras and sensors.
Cameras and sensors to detect moisture, other kinds of things, or?
Yeah, at this point, we are not detecting moisture. It's something that we have in our roadmap, but that's not what we are doing today. At this point, we are collecting information on the top of the canopy and below the canopy, but mainly from what I was telling you, like emergency to diseases, insects, but for sure, you're totally right. That's an interesting thing to have, like moisture and evapotranspiration, for example.
Is it designed to do anything else, like some of the physical chores and that a farmer would be needing, or it's just going to tell him that this or that is needed?
No, actually, so the first idea is to tell them what is needed and trigger the operation. Kind of tell them this is the right time to spray this product that you have planned.
But it's not going to do the actual spraying.
So for sure, like at this point, we are laser focused on solving this problem and better understand what farmers need and what agriculture needs. But obviously, it is a platform that can evolve. Like the robot itself, it's a platform that can evolve in different ways. But at this point, we are like learning what will add more value to farmers.
So it could perhaps down the road, with different equipment added to it, be able to do other things, I suppose, if you decide to develop that. So
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about the future of farming and the use of robotics, and what it means to agriculture?
So I think, especially from what we are seeing, like we've been developing this robot for the last 3 years, and in the US for 1 year, 3 years in Brazil, 1 year in US. And what we are seeing it changes a lot the way we've been doing things, because it gives you a level of information that is totally different. So the way we see that it is, we are gonna empower agronomists, so sales agronomists and agronomists from retailers and farmers to take the most of the inputs they're using. And I think robots will be somebody in the field taking care of that that part of the field or that field through the whole season. And that's the way we see. We see something there helping farmers and giving farmers, I don't know, more time to be more strategic about how they farm. So that's and obviously robots connected to the overall fleet and robots connected to the overall platform, helping to orchestrate what happens in the farm.
And from the farmer's perspective, this would have to make economic sense for him or her. So tell us how that's going to work out. This is a purchase because it's there operating, you said, through a whole season.
Yeah, so you are totally right. So when we decided to do the robot, something that we decided to do it is, this robot has to be something affordable. It can't be, I don't know, a very expensive device, because we want to, I don't know, scale that fast, because we'll just be able to tackle the challenges that agriculture has today if we grow it fast, if we scale this thing up really fast. So it will be an affordable device. And yeah, that's it. That's how we think. Business model for that, especially in the US, it's another thing that we want to do with Growmark, working with Growmark. It is like figuring out the value that we're going to add to really decide what to do, and even talk with farmers to see what fits the best for them. And that's where we are.
And the height here, I assume, is adjustable depending upon the crop, because I guess corn is different from soybeans and things like that.
Yeah, honestly, like you were right. We've been doing that, and we've been adapting. So every time that we try to come with the business model for a specific product, we really first we measure the value that we are adding to farmers. And I can't tell you at this moment, but you're right. Maybe like it's based on the value that we are adding.
Interesting. For more information, where can people go?
So they can go to our website and they can call us, and we are definitely happy to talk more about it, learn, get different perspectives from farmers, from retailers. So it's just like call us or send an email. We'll love to talk more about it.
And this can help to solve the issues that many farmers face today in terms of manpower, having enough people out
Yeah.
there in the
So
fields.
yeah, so the in different ways, like with the platform, in different ways, we tackle most of the problems that we have today. So men and how to perform our operations in a more efficient way, taking the most of the inputs that I'm using, and then like going more deep in it is resistant weeds, how to I don't know, have higher yields to better understand my fields, how to get there at the right moment, so the environmental issues, and even like to how to report what I did in my fields, and to, I don't know, different programs as carbon, for example. So for sure, it tackles many things.
Solinftec.com. Daniel Padrao, thank you for taking the time with us.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.